Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream. I am so sorry that I am late. I just wanted that extra, 10 to 15 minutes in bed, and then I needed to go to the shop because I had no milk to make my cup of tea this morning. So yeah, I do apologise, but we are back for another live stream. Today we are going to talk about the game yesterday against Coventry. One of the most entertaining games I think I've seen, despite only one goal being scored. Had plenty of ups and downs, and yeah, we're going to talk about that game, talk about what happened afterwards in terms of other teams getting results, and yeah, I'm sure we'll talk plenty about the West Brom game, which is the final game of the season, and if Luton win, we guarantee to stay up in the Championship. We get another year of Championship football, and life under Matt Bloomfield can hopefully start looking upwards, because the impact he's made, I do think, has been good. It's a shame that it's taken 8 games in his manager career at Luton to get going, but you can also point fingers at the players with that. Why did we not pick up better results in the first 8 games? But also point fingers at the board a little bit, because if we made this decision at the start of December, I think we would be nowhere near the bottom 3. In fact, we might be a lot closer to mid-table, because Bloomfield has definitely got a reaction, and after, his spell at Colchester and at Wickham, it takes time. He's proven that he is a manager that he can't hit the ground running straight away, but once he has that little bit of time, bang, that's when we get the results, and that's what we're starting to see right now. And what a response it's been since we lost 1-0 at home against Blackburn. It's been amazing, hasn't it? All of those, the wins, the 3 wins in a row, didn't expect us to do it. And yeah, West Brom, we might only need a point. We might only need a point. It all depends what Portsmouth do at Hull. We kind of need to hope that we just do better than what Hull do. We win our game, but if they win their game, it's not looking good. And our goal difference isn't the greatest, especially if you compare it to Preston and also Derby and Stoke. So yeah, definitely we need to, win the game against West Brom and make life a bit easier. Now, their form, it isn't the best. I think they're 23rd on the form table, and we're like in the top 5. So for me, it's definitely got a West Brom surprise win written all over it. They are basically on the beach. They don't have a manager, and the West Brom fans are saying if they play their under 21 players, they would actually give us a much better game than the actual first team players. But yeah, happy days. We're out of the bottom 3. Let's do this. Right, let's read some of your comments. Some of you guys were early. I do apologise if you've been waiting too long. Philip, you said, do you think any of the subs will start at West Brom? Will Walsh play if it turns out that he can play after? Because we've now appealed it. Watching it back, it's not a red card. But my issue is, why did Walsh even get involved? And I said this in the match reaction. Why get involved? You're on a yellow, stay clear. And I do believe he's a wind-up merchant on the pitch, because a lot of players go in on him. You see it quite often. A lot of tackles get flied in on him, and he's always on the receiving end. And he must be like that little rat in midfield. I compared him to a little rat in one of my videos recently. Some of you guys found that quite funny. Honestly, that's what I used to be like as a player. If some people have never seen me play. And I used to be that as a footballer. I used to literally leave one on players. I used to say all sorts of things in players' ears, because I was a rubbish footballer. I was never gifted. I could just do the basics, things right, and I knew how to wind people up. And I used to get a few punches at me, especially playing kids football growing up. Definitely got a few players sent off. So that's what I used to do. And Walsh does remind me of that. And the passing ability, that was one of my biggest strengths, was my passing. But yeah, that I just feel like, why get involved, Walsh? You're on a yellow, stay way clear of it. And he didn't, and he got involved. And what made me laugh was he was getting involved with McGuinness and the defender. Like, I'm not being funny. McGuinness is a unit himself. I think he can look after himself, can't he, McGuinness? Give him a cheeky headbutt, whatever happens there. But yeah, why get involved, Walsh? And at first, I thought he actually sent off Morris because I thought Morris was the one that actually knocked the Coventry lad over, but it was Walsh. And I think because it's a straight red card and not a second yellow, we can appeal it, which gives us an opportunity, and we might as well appeal it actually, because Walsh has picked up 3 red cards this season. He gets another game suspended, so he's already missing the start of next season due to picking up too many red cards. So you might as well appeal it, and if we're unsuccessful, he's going to be missing the start of the season regardless. So it's kind of like you might as well do it and see what happens. But if we are successful, it's a big question mark. Do you keep him in the team? Because I thought he was amazing up until that sending off. I thought he was honestly the best player on the pitch. The way he was all over the pitch itself, the passing ability. I've started to really like him recently. But God, he is a little rat in that midfield. That's for sure. Neil, you've put. I'll say, well, hang on, I need to read this properly. I'm sure myself and Kate predicted the bottom 3 going into the last weekend of the season. Good prediction there. Mick, good morning, everyone. We won and it feels great. It certainly does feel great. What a game. It was a fantastic game. We are the town. Yes, we are, Miles. Neil, you've put great day to be out of the bottom 3. It just is. It's a fantastic time to be alive, and I'm super happy by it. Good morning, Lewis, and all on this fine Sunday morning. Still buzzing after yesterday. Same. I went to bed very happy. I also watched the boxing last night. Fantastic. Hello, mate. Do you think? Do you know when we were here about the Walsh appeal? It has to be done in the next couple of days, so we're definitely here before the West Brom game, and hopefully the club will post about it. I defo think we are staying up, according to Danny. We're in control, Danny, that's for sure. Man of the match, Baptiste. I know, I couldn't believe it. Great sub appearance, though, by the way. It was a really, really good sub appearance. The goal itself was so bad, but you just got to get it on target, don't you? You just got to hit it on target and ask a question, and that's exactly what he did. I thought his passing ability was really, really good. He was getting himself about. Also, he could have set up a second goal for us. He put in a lovely ball across the pitch, and it fell to Asgard, but Asgard should have left it for Chong. I don't know how much talking Chong did, but Chong was in a much better position to get a shot away, and that could have potentially have been 2-0, game over. So yeah, I thought it was a fantastic sub appearance by Baptiste. Philip, you put it yesterday reminded me of the Dowie winner versus Crystal Palace years ago. Just felt it had to come. Manager change should have happened last summer. Every relegated team needs a refresh. See, I said this, Philip, quite earlier on in the season. You either got to change the manager or you've got to change the squad. So if you look at Sheffield United, they pretty much changed the squad. They kept Wilder in charge. And yeah, look what's happened. Okay, they've missed out on the top 2, but they've still had a good season despite having the point deduction at the start, despite having a quite dismantled squad at the beginning. Their recruitment was done all over the place throughout the summer. So you've got to do one or the other. Change a manager or refresh the squad. And every team in the Football League did exactly that, apart from us, and we took so long to do it. It was so frustrating, but hey, we're in this position. Hopefully we learn for next time. Take back all the negative comments on Bloomfield. Whatever happens, it's in our hands now. Regardless, if we do, and something horribly goes wrong next week against West Brom, and we do go and play League One football next year, I back Bloomfield to get us back to the Championship, 100%. You've seen what's happened with Wickham, and the fact that they've kind of fallen off a little bit since Bloomfield has gone. They're a completely different team to what they used to be like. So, yeah, and also the reaction which I've seen from the players. I know it's taken a while, but I think he's got some players that have been absolutely shocking this year performing, which is good. Neil, you've gone with a 2-1 Luton win for next week. Let me know your score predictions for the West Brom game. in the live stream. Comment below. Cardiff have been relegated. Yes, they have. And it was coming, their relegation. This is what happens where the ownership upstairs is just shocking. Now, I know we've made a couple of dodgy decisions upstairs, but overall we are run properly as a football club. The board try and make the best decision, like the best football decision possible. Financially, we are looked after and we don't ever have to worry. Whereas sometimes football decisions we might get wrong and we might have to pay the price for it because I don't believe we've got the best football operation department at the football club. We've got an okay one, we've got one that's made a lot of great decisions over the years, but unfortunately over the last 2 years I do think we've made a couple of poor mistakes, and that's what's put us in this position. But yeah, Cardiff getting relegated, it was happening, it was going to happen at some point. There's only so much as well. If you look at upstairs and downstairs, so downstairs on the playing field, there's only so much a manager and players can do. But if the upstairs department they distance themselves from downstairs, they keep making dodgy decisions, there's only so much downstairs can do. And you're starting to see it a lot more recently. The QPR manager, he's leaving at the end of the season because he's fed up with how the football club is being run upstairs. The Sheffield Wednesday boss as well. These managers can't keep overperforming every single year. Look at Watford, for example. Cleverly, he wasn't backed in January, and look how many defeats they've had since the start of the year. Preston themselves, they don't invest in the squad, so there's only so much that can happen. Stoke, you're seeing it so often. This is a very common theme. Like when upstairs is a problem, downstairs will eventually show, and there's only so much a team can do to stay up. Blackburn's also another one as well, but they keep being lucky, and I feel like sometimes these teams, that's why I keep predicting them to go down, because I do think eventually something will happen and they're not going to be able to recover from it. They can't get a manager in that might keep them up, and sometimes it is the good clubs like Plymouth who go down because they also make the same mistakes, but despite being run properly, if that makes sense. Terry, you've put 21 points from the last 11 games. Great form it is indeed. This season has been so emotionally draining. You're telling me, Mick, honestly, if no one knows, right now I've got a heart issue at the moment which is being investigated, and I feel like that has come about due to how bad Luton have been this season and the emotion, that emotional roller coaster which we've all been on. From winning certain games, from losing too many games. It's been so stressful, and I'm going to have to try my best going forward to not let it bother me, but it's going to age me. I'm telling you now, I feel like I'm 10 years older, if that makes sense. I don't think it's possible for Liam Walsh to go 5 matches without getting a red card. I know, it's so annoying. Hi Lewis, hi mate, how you doing? Miles, you put, I was watching the game with my Coventry mate. He said their backup keeper has lost them on a boatload of points. It was shocking. He was having a really, really good game as well up until that point. I don't know why he decided to, rush out and go straight into his own player. He must have, I don't know if he saw the lights and he just thought, I'm going to go and get this. It was a really poor judgment there. And the Coventry player actually thought it was Colton Morris that fouled him, and that's why he was calling for a foul. And honestly, I did think the referee was going to blow. I really hope the referee hasn't been fooled here, because it was, the same players from the same team doing it. So I was like, please don't blow, and he obviously didn't blow his whistle, and I was really happy. Mick, you've put one more game and hopefully one more win and we will stay in the championship and we can all give our hearts and nerves a rest for a couple of months. Exactly. Talking about, what's going to happen in pre-season and the summer. We say have a rest. I never have a rest because you guys will need videos throughout the whole summer. Starting today, in fact, I am going to plan my future videos. I've got so many ideas which I'm going to do. Lots include Luton content. Lots include whatever league Luton are going to be in. I am going to do my opinion on the best the best away fans to come to Luton this season. In fact, while you're in the comments, let me know in your opinion, who have been the best set of fans to come to Luton this year? Let me know. Give me your list. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. I didn't make much of Coventry yesterday, I have to be honest with you. They weren't the worst set of fans to come to Luton. We've definitely had a lot worse, i.e. Watford, who just didn't say anything and just, stood there and cried when we beat them 3-0. But yeah, apart from that, everyone, let me know what your list is down below. But yeah, lots of content coming your way throughout the whole summer. I'm going to be talking about loads of transfer rumours when they do come about. And I will just make so many videos as possible because I do want to grow this channel as much as possible. I don't know if you guys saw, but someone did a post on TikTok yesterday and he was reviewing, well, I say reviewing, he just did a list of the highest, the highest following Luton Town, highest following Championship content creators. And for Luton, guess who was mentioned? Yours truly. I know. And then there was someone in the comments put, I don't even know who Lewis is. How do you not know who I am? I've been doing this for years. In fact, for over 10 years I've been doing this. It's been nuts. It's been a crazy journey. I'm probably going to do this to the day I die, and I'll be known as the guy that just makes videos online and just has an awful football opinion. But hey, I've been called worse. So that is the aim. But yeah, lots of content throughout the summer, and I'm really looking forward to it. Neil, you've put, I did also say to you, Lewis, we might only need 49 points to stay up. Yes, you did. I also said as well, we might also need 50, and we might also go down with 50 points. So it's horrible to even think that. Mick, you've put, when I saw Jones kick their player, I thought, oh no, we are on self-destruct mode. I haven't actually watched that back. I need to see that back. Has anyone seen that back yet? Has anyone seen like another clip of it? If you have and you know where to get it, I have a fantastic Discord group where subscribers of mine, is free as long as you have the app or browser on your computer. It's like a WhatsApp version of just a football chat basically. So the links are in the description below. Click that link and you can have access to the Discord, and yeah, you can chat football, and yeah, I'll post my videos in there as well. And yeah, if you have this Jones kick out, I haven't found it on social media yet, please put that link in there and I'll give it a watch. Rose, you put, hello Lewis, how many will stay with Luton now? In terms of players, I'm not too sure, if I'm being honest with you. I think by listening to Matt Bloomfield over the last month or so, it feels like there's going to be quite a lot staying. I do think at least 10 players will go. I definitely think at least 10. And you can kind of list them off right now, to be honest with you. I do think Anderson and Hashi are 2 players definitely, because they've been available and they're not even getting into the starting 11 or the bench. So there's 2 there. I think Holmes will be another one. He's been out on loan in Belgium and barely played. Victor Moses is 4. Kyle Naismith 5 will be leaving. Bola is 6. Woodrow is 7. Pelly is 8. I think Lockyer will be 9. I think you can also get rid of one of the experienced goalkeepers, because you don't need 3 goalkeepers over the age of 30. So there's 10 players already. And then I think everyone else is under contract. I'm not too sure about Amari Bell, Morris, and so on. Elijah's definitely under contract because he's doing his rehab here with Luton. The same with Brown as well. Every player we signed during the Premier League season, I think, has another year left in their deal. We might lose Thomas because of what's happened. Obviously, this week he might want to go back home, and you can't, stop that from happening. You should allow that to happen if he wants to be closer to his family. So yeah, there's a lot of decisions to be made. But I've been told behind the scenes that Matt Bloomfield is quite strict. He's quite disciplined, and he wasn't happy with certain things when he first came in. So he doesn't really have any best friends here, I would say. So he might make some ruthless decisions in the summer. We'll soon find out. Hopefully he makes the right one, but I back any decision he makes because I do think he deserves time, and I really like what he's done here at the football club. Please as well, guys, before I answer any more questions, smash that like button on the live stream. It helps the live stream actually perform better once it gets uploaded properly to everyone else, because a lot of people watch the live stream after I finished it. So some join in while it's live, and some actually watch it at a later point, and you can watch it throughout the day and while doing other things. So yeah, smash that like button because more people can watch the live stream later, and it reaches out to a wider audience on YouTube. Neil, you've put, I do have one question though, which is a tough question to answer. Give me the tough questions. I am not media trained, so I will answer it as honest as I can. Danny, you've put, Wrexham have been promoted. Yes, they have 3 promotions in a row. You have to kind of say, fair play to them on that. I know it gets glammed up as a Hollywood, fairy tale. It's not a Hollywood, well, it's not a fairy tale for a start. It's a great achievement. 3 promotions in a row is not easy. Not many teams do that, but it does help if you've got money, and you can't deny that. It does help. But what they've done is amazing. It'd be interesting to see what they do in the Championship, and if we stay up in the Championship, I do want to go to Wrexham and see what the local area is all about. See if anything has changed since obviously Luton last were there in terms of I think they've built the new stand in the new stadium as well. So they've built the new stand in the stadium. So yeah, lots of improvements around the football club, and yeah. Give the new owners some stick, I'm sure. Ryan Reynolds, if he's there at the game. They are basically going to replace Leeds as well on Sky. So you know how often Leeds get put on Sky. Wrexham are going to be the same. They are going to put them so much on Sky. It's going to be ridiculous. It's a shame really, because there are 23 other clubs in the Championship and also other football clubs in League 2 and League 1. But yeah, I can see that definitely happen. Final day is going to be so nervous. Yeah, I'm going to be at West Brom. It could be my last trip to West Brom, if I'm being honest with you, especially if we ended up get relegated, because that'd be just bad memories every single time. Neil, you put, on transfers in the summer, does the form of the players now on transfers in the summer, does the form of the players now to before we would still get rid of so many players now, and which players think would want to keep? Please reword that, Neil. I don't know what you mean. Guys, if you're going to sometimes when you put a message in, it's too early for me to try and reword what you've put in the chat and then try and make sense of it. So if you can, guys, please help me out. Make it very clear on what you're trying to say. Danny, you've gone with a 2-1 Luton win next week. If we stay up, Vardy would be a good shout. I don't think we'll go for Vardy. I think I've already seen rumours to Wrexham already. It'd be interesting to see what Vardy actually does, because I think he's going to go abroad. He's still got the legs for the Championship. He's still quick. For a 38-year-old, he is very quick. And he still loves the Red Bull, so fair play. But yeah, Jamie Vardy's having a party. Bring your vodka and your Charlie. Wouldn't mind singing that, next season. And hopefully, yeah, I just want next year to just be great. Just a stress-free year. Just looking upwards, looking up the table, climbing above Watford in the Championship. That would be fantastic. Just, having a great year. That's what I want. Mick, you put, yeah, stress isn't good for you. You're telling me. Neil, you've put, where's your message gone? Oh, I've missed the comment now. Where am I? The way Walsh ran the match yesterday reminds me of David Priest. I never got the honour to watch David Priest. So, I'm going to say that David Priest, well, if he's got a stand named after him, he's obviously was a really good footballer, wasn't he? I've seen the odd highlight clip, but interesting how you've compared the two. Danny, you've put, we really get lucky with the Coventry defender messing up the clearance for the goal. Yeah. Very lucky, but you've got to get it on target. All 3 promoted teams are going down from the Premier League again. 3rd year in a row, I think Match of the Day said. It's just beyond pathetic, really. I don't think it's 3rd year in a row. I think it's the 2nd year in a row, Danny, because Leicester didn't go back up, down, back up again. So I think it's only happened 2 years in a row, because Leicester got relegated with one of the most expensive squads in the Premier League. And then for the first time in years, went down, went back up, and then went down again. They haven't done that 4 times. Yeah, they haven't gone. Yeah, so it's only 2 years. It's 2 years in a row which this has happened, and it just shows you the quality in the Premier League is so big. compared to the Championship, but it's always going to be so big because the money difference is so big. And that's what some people can't understand. If the money is there, it's like you need to have a multi-millionaire owner, a billionaire in charge of your football club. The reason why Nottingham Forest was able to do what they did was because, one, they had to just start fresh because all their squad was pretty much out of contract. And two, their owner also owns multiple clubs, so he's quite rich. So they can afford to bring certain players to the football club. And if they were to get relegated, the owner has the money to kind of put back into the football club in order to make sure they are safe and they don't go bust. So it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to spend so much money. Do you think the appeal will be with Walsh will be successful? Knowing the EFL, no. I don't think it will, but there's not much in it. So they might use some common sense, but you are asking EFL officials to use some common sense, or the EFL regulator who decides this appeal system. James, you put, I think the Jones kick out was on Sky Sports highlights. Thank you, James. I will give that a watch. Philip, you put, I think one thing that Bloomfield has done well is to improve selection. The team seems to be more consistent, and based on how they've played, the days of Edwards having some favourites on players are now gone. Yeah, I do agree with that. I don't think Bloomfield has any favourites right now. I think he knows the squad. He can't really... I think he's restricted in certain ways because I think he wants to play a different way, but he knows this current way right now is working, so he doesn't want to change it. And we've now got a quite settled backline. I found it quite interesting that Christ Makosso came off at half time. I don't know if he had a knock or we felt it was best to replace him with someone else. But Cal Naismith in the side, showing some leadership, was quite good. And yeah, he's really good on the ball, isn't he, Cal Naismith? Very progressive. And yeah, I thought it was a good sub appearance from Cal Naismith. But I do think Makosso will play next week. Philip, you've put the board warned lots of changes in the summer in the programme. Really? I didn't read the programme. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get... If the programme notes are online, I'm going to read them. If not, I'm going to ask my dad to send me photos of what was said in the programme. My dad always buys the programme, but I never really do. So it's pointless buying too. Mark Little, you've put, I would sign Naismith. It's an interesting one with Naismith because, yes, fantastic, but we've got quite a lot of defenders at the football club. And if Matt Bloomfield wants to change from a three centre halves to two centre halves in a four at the back system, then we need to let go a lot of defenders, if that makes sense. So Anderson and Holmes definitely need to go. Then if Naismith goes, that's three. You've still got... you've got Makosso, you've got Ted and Menji, you've got McGuinness, you've got Burke, got Lockyer. So you've still got quite a lot of centre halves at the football club. So I think Matt Bloomfield really needs to kind of evaluate what do I want to do, and yeah, go from there. But Cal Naismith, I might see him going to like one of the top clubs in League One. I could see that happening. And it wouldn't surprise me. I know he's capable of Championship football. No problems at all there. But I can see him going League One. I really could. At a top-end League One club. And if Charlton don't win promotion, I'm telling you now, Nathan Jones will go for Cal Naismith. I've got a feeling. If Charlton don't win promotion. Neil, you put, I re-signed Naismith as well. He's earned it since his return. I've got no problem if Cal Naismith was to re-sign. I just think we need to evaluate the defence department because we've got so many defenders. Anthony, you've put, Lewis, you are a star in the making. It's been a rollercoaster season. Thank you, Anthony, for your kind words. Toby, you've put, had a quick talk with Matt at full time. As he was signing my shirt and others. I think he believes he can keep us up. After 3 games and 3 wins, do you think we will stay up? It's in our hands. Yesterday gave me so much confidence that we can stay up, Toby. It really did. I feel confident. I just hope it doesn't go, down the wrong path and we just don't stay up. I really don't want a bad day at West Brom. Footy Flames, you've put, we need to keep Asgard. We will keep Asgard. Asgard ain't leaving this football club. Not yet, anyway. We've got him for at least another 6 more months. Whether or not he'll go in the January window, he will definitely have interest. He's quick feet, his ability. I still think he's got a lot to learn. I think there's still elements to his play that he isn't quite there yet as a elite, like, championship top player. I think he's a good championship player. I think there's plenty of improvement left in him, especially in decision making. I think that's when you know how good of a player you are. I think decision making is what separates you, and if he gets that right, he's got the potential to be a Premier League player. If the red card is withdrawn, I would start him on Saturday. Naismith for Tenen Menji, or Christ and Clark for Fanny. Good decisions there. January transfer windows was generally a very good and saved our season. Yeah, the January window was fantastic. You look at the players that have had an impact. Isaiah Jones has had an impact. Christ Makosso's had an impact. Cal Naismith's had an impact. Ali's had an impact. Asgard's had an impact. That's 5 players there. Who else did we sign? Bollard hasn't really had an impact. Fanny was pretty much a summer signing, what came in January. He's been okay, but I wouldn't say he's had much of an impact. So, and then Nordas, and he hasn't really had an impact. So 5 out of 8 players have had an impact. That's exactly what you need to do. You're never going to get every transfer right. And I think some people nowadays think you're going to get every transfer right. You're not. It's impossible. Sometimes circumstances happen, systems change, tactics change, players. It's just not possible for every player you sign to have an impact. But you need to get at least over 50% of your recruitment correct in order to be successful. And the higher that percentage is, the more likely you're looking upwards. And that's why we've had our fantastic journey from non-league to the Premier League. It's because we've got a lot of our recruitment correct. That is why. And you see some of the players in the Premier League, they were here when we were in League 2. So it's about getting it right. Neil, it's so good to see all the January signings, including Fanny, all making a massive impact of the position we're in now to before. Agree. Thank you, Lewis, for your service to our club. Really enjoyed your channel. Thank you very much. Share the channel about, please, guys, because some people still don't know who I am. I always get people come up to me and say hello to me, go, all right, Lewis, and I don't know their names, but they say hello to me, and I'm like, hi, and people come up and say, I watch your channel, and I always say thank you. I always never really know what to say to people, and they go, oh, I really love your channel. I just automatically go, thank you. And I should try and carry on the conversation, but I get really nervous in front of people. In front of a camera, I'm fine. I treat that like nothing. But in front of other people, I'm not the best. And I just come across really nervous, and I'm always on edge all the time. It's just me. Mark, you've put Burke is on my list to go. I do think it's also the right time to part ways with Reece Burke, just because he's so injury prone, isn't he? Com on you Hattis has put, I think McGuinness, Naismith, Makosso should be at the back against West Brom. I wouldn't be against that as the back three partnership. Neil, you've put, I have Naismith for Lockyer any day of the week, Lewis. The thing is, I don't think Lockyer's going to be the same player. And he's also come out and said he's out of contract. So we've got to make a decision there. And I'll be honest with you, if Lockyer does re-sign, I'll be quite uncomfortable watching him play, just because I don't want him to obviously die in front of my eyes, for a start. But two, I don't know, it feels uncomfortable. We've had so many great moments with him. I wouldn't be against him, staying at the football club to become a coach, or have like an ambassador role, like anything. I wouldn't be against that, because I do think he's played a massive part in our history. His leadership on and off the pitch is there. I've met Lockyer as well. I've got a photo with him. Really nice guy. Really, really was a nice guy. I met him at work. In fact, he was working for Sky doing the soccer special, and I was in the Sky room. And he said to me at the time, because Luton, we had an injury crisis in defence, as normal, in the Premier League, and he told me to bring my boots with me. Like, we were making jokes with each other, and we had like a proper conversation there. But he's a really nice guy, Lockyer, but I wish him all the best with whatever he decides to do. But I just will feel uncomfortable watching him play in a Luton shirt. Adrian, you've put, I think Bloomfield Going out to see Thomas and travelling home with him on his day off deserves a mention. It's a great gesture. Yeah, it is. And that is top level management skills. To go out on your day off, and you've got to think, but I think Bloomfield as well doesn't see his kids often, and on his day off he wants to spend time with his children, and he's decided to actually, no, my player needs me. He's put his family to one side and gone, I need to go for my player. Travel to Belgium and back on the same day. I've done a lot of travelling in my life, and yeah, that's quite tiring in itself, just doing that journey. But yeah, what a fantastic, management skills that is, to do that. And I think Thomas would never forget that. And that's something which players would want to run through a brick wall for you when they see that. And that might have given the players that little bit extra motivation against Coventry. But look, that's the type of manager we've got. We sign good people at Luton. Nathan Jones, he was a good person to the players. The players loved him. Graham Jones, a little bit different. John Steele was great. But Rob Edwards, despite his flaws, players loved him. And now Matt Bloomfield as well. So yeah, we're signing good people. Sitting with my son in G Block, he said he thought Walsh had blown it for us when he was sent off. I said I would actually open the game up as they would attack more. We're not good against 10 men. That is correct. Apparently there is a stat out there that we haven't won against 10 men in over 2 years. That is something which we need to kind of fix, because you need to be doing better against 10 men. So actually it was a blessing, and Walsh was my man of the match, by the way. I thought it was amazing. I think up until that red card, he was amazing. He really was. And yeah, the game did open up a little bit, but I actually thought Coventry were going to go and score. That's what worried me the most. Rose, you put Lewis should Baptiste should play the last game. I enjoy the channel as well. Thank you, Rose. You've been subscribed to my channel for a long time as well. Should Baptiste play next week? It's up to Matt Bloomfield. If he thinks it's the right decision, I would play Clark ahead of Baptiste because Clark's more in form. I don't know if Baptiste will break down. This is the issue with Baptiste. Will he break down? Will he not break down? I think he might come on as a sub like he did against Coventry, and it was a good sub appearance. The management team got it right there. On his day, Baptiste can be one of the best midfielders in the Championship, and I was so excited when we signed him. And you can go back to that video. The video is still up on my channel. I was so excited to sign Baptiste because of what I've seen. I see a good player. I see a player that can dictate the midfield, that can be similar to Ross Barkley. I'm not saying like be a Barkley, but has the similar traits of a Ross Barkley. And we've just not seen it. We've not seen it enough. In the minutes he's shown, he hasn't been good. But yesterday, hopefully that goal also just gives him something, gives him an extra 10%, which he can take into the game against West Brom. So yeah, fingers crossed there. That's a good tea. Anyone who likes my mug? Hashtag teams like Luton. I also have this coaster here. Yeah, bang. I need to get some more stuff for my backdrop. I haven't filled this bit yet. I've got a frame here. You can see at the bottom left. Right there. This frame I can't put on the wall because it won't stay on the wall. The only way it will stay on the wall is if I use command strips, and the command strips damaged my wall last time when I used them. So I don't really want to use them again. So I need to figure out a way. The old put a nail through the wall and hook it doesn't work. So I might just leave it there. I don't know. I need to think what to do. But I need to get a couple more scarves. If no one knows about the story about my scarf, it's basically all the scarves, the foreign ones, especially like AC Milan, Inter, Sporting Lisbon, you've got Verona and Dortmund, are stadiums which I've been to. So I need to also add Monza. I also need to add Benfica. I also need to add New York Red Bulls. and Roma. So I need to add 4 more scarves to my backdrop. Hope Hull lose at Portsmouth, as we won't need any more points. Very unlikely, as Portsmouth will be on the beach. You say that, but Portsmouth's home form is quite good, and also Portsmouth themselves, the players, some of the players might be out of contract in the summer, so they might be having a point to prove, and they want to put their name in the shop window. If we have let me have a quick look at their, because I think they won their last game. I think they beat, who did they beat? Let's have a quick look. So, Portsmouth FC. So they got a point away against Sheffield Wednesday. If I look at their starting 11, so they played a strong starting 11. Yeah, they played a regular starting 11, and they played with Colby Bishop up top, who's been amazing for them. Murphy, who's been amazing. Blair, as well. He got who scored the goal yesterday. He's on loan, isn't he? From what club is he on loan from? I think he's on loan from somewhere. So yeah, I think they play a strong team. Hull definitely have to go for it, and that could be a nightmare, because Hull know they need to win, and that will expose gaps in behind. And Portsmouth on the counter attack might try to exploit them. And if I look on the bench as well, Callum Lang was on the bench. Matt Ritchie, they made a couple of changes. Marlon Pack as well. I think they'll play. I think it'd be a strongish team. So I think we'll be okay. I think they will. Terry, you put who's going down with Cardiff and Plymouth. Let's have a look at the league table, shall we? Actually, while we're here, let's look at it. So let me get the league table up. Let's have a look here. Right. So 24th is Cardiff, as we know, on 44 points. Plymouth are on 46 points at 23rd. 22nd is Hull on 48 points. Then it's us on 21st. We are on 49 points. So we're 1 point ahead of Hull. Then Preston are on the same points as us, but they have a miles better goal difference. They have there's 11 goals between it. We're not recouping that back unless we destroy West Brom 8-0 and Bristol City tear them a new one. Derby are on the same points as us. Their goal difference is also miles better. Stoke are also 1 point above us. They're at 18th, and they've got minus 17 goal difference. Now, Stoke and Derby, that's the last game of the season between those two teams. Derby might go all out there and try a win. So, look, regardless, we've got to win. Even if Luton win, Hull win, Stoke could get relegated, which is absolutely insane if Derby win their game. But also, if Preston do their bit as well, wouldn't it be mental? Stoke getting relegated. It's gone down to the final day where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams are in the conversation of trying to stay up on the final day, and one of these teams might get relegated on 50 points. Mental. Absolutely mental. And if you think about it, if we actually, by the way, get the win and we'll be on 52 points, we would only be 4 points away from Watford. And Watford would be giving us a load of stick this season of how bad we've been. We're only 4 points away from them. So imagine if we actually performed well in the first half of the season and they're 13th. It's such a shame. It really is such a shame that this has happened this season. But yeah. Philip, you put maybe shirts from for the back wall or a picture of the Kenny. Yeah, I could do the picture of the Kenny, but the picture of the Kenny would have to go on my black acoustic boards, which is above my head here. So I don't know how that would look, if I'm being honest with you. Tim, you've put the Velcro strips for those scarves. The scarves are pinned in, so I prefer the pin. The Velcro strips that I've had in the past, they've actually broken the wall. They did in my last house. They broke the wall, so I don't really want to use them. I want to try my best to avoid them as much as possible. Danny, you've put FA Cup today. It is indeed. Palace beat Villa 3-0, which I wasn't expecting. I don't know who I really want to win, because it's Forest and Man City. I guess don't really want Forest to win. So I guess I'll go with Forest to beat City, but Forest to lose the final, and then Palace to win the FA Cup final. I want someone different to win the FA Cup, not the same team. Philip, you've put, we will have much of a career path for youngsters with the last squad we have. Will we have much of a career path for youngsters with the last squad we have going forward? I don't know. I think well, we're upgrading our academy, aren't we? So we're gonna be in a under-21 league, so that's gonna help us progress players through the academy. And when players are not playing in the first team, they can play in the under-21 squad. But I think Matt Bloomfield will want to have time to assess the actual youngsters at the football club, and he would want to bring down the numbers of the squad because we do have a very big team at the moment. The likes of Zach Nelson, Joe Johnson, Walters, they're not really getting minutes at them right now. So, yeah, we need to figure out a way to get more youngsters through the door. But I don't want to play them for the sake of it. I want to play them because they're good enough. Some of them have showed in moments what they're capable of doing. But, yeah, I think in a season where we're not trying to stay up would be a much better idea to start playing them. I think Matt is doing something different with returning players from injuries as the number of players' injuries is going down. I hope I am right as this is essential for Luton to be successful. Yeah, this is true. Luton did an article with the head of sports science, and he also said that apparently when players are getting injured at Luton, they are returning back a lot quicker and staying fit longer, and that's due to what Matt Bloomfield's done. They've changed a few things. They've changed their days off in the week as well. So that's what it needed. It needed something else because the injuries which we were sustaining were just ridiculous. It was happening for too long, and yeah, it needed to improve. Because for us, you can't have 10 players being out injured every single match day, which felt like it was happening, and going into a game with such an injury-prone defence, it was ridiculous. Brian, you've put Plymouth are confirmed relegated. Yeah, us winning against Coventry pretty much relegated them before kicking a ball against Preston, but they still went to Preston and won at their place, which is mental. Mick, you've put, are you watching the Forest game? I will be. I don't want to watch the Liverpool-Tottenham game. That it's between those two games, isn't it? I'll watch the FA Cup semi-final. Who knows what could happen? Forest might upset City. City are not the same team as they used to be. So, yeah, I think, yeah, that would be the much better watch. I think Liverpool are going to beat Tottenham. The only thing I'd be doing is keeping a lookout on my notifications just to see if my players are doing well in my fantasy team. Come on, your hatters have put, hopefully Leeds beat Plymouth. It doesn't matter what Plymouth do. Plymouth can't overtake us. The goal difference is too big. So yeah, there's 14 goals between it. So even if we lose and they win, they won't be above us. So the highest Luton can finish, well, the lowest Luton can finish is 22nd in the Championship. It's the lowest, basically, which is great. Well, I say great. It's only great if, well, we need to stay up, so it's not too great. But yeah, fingers crossed, next week we do it. Fingers crossed. Any more questions, guys? I'm going to be streaming for another 5 more minutes, and then I'll end it. I'm going to head to the gym today. I'm also got to go food shopping, and then come back, have some lunch. Then I need to make my videos for today, and then also need to make some dinner, and then also plan loads of videos as well. And then I'm back to work tomorrow, but I'm working from home, so it's all good. I'm actually going to get my car fixed tomorrow, which is nice. I've said in my live stream that someone decided to smash 3 of my windows in my car, which was great. Quite a lot of money to fix, but yeah, 3 of my windows got smashed in, but that's getting fixed tomorrow. I've been waiting over 2 weeks for someone to come out from Auto Glass to fix my car. 2 weeks, yeah. 2 weeks to come and fix my car. You can still drive the car, but it's so loud, because they've put these plastic sheets over it. Absolutely horrible. Philip, you've put, if we do stay up, which of the 6 different games will you look forward to the most? Actually going to one of the Premier League sides, most likely Southampton, because my mate supports Southampton, and I've given him so much stick about Southampton and about how they should have gave Nathan Jones more time, gave him a load of stick about Russell Martin. So yeah, Southampton by the beach as well. Hopefully that's the first game of the season actually, away from home. I look forward to that. Hopefully it's a good time as well. We play them roughly in the summer. Southampton, Portsmouth, same again, roughly in the summer, so it's not freezing. But yeah, definitely Southampton. In fact, I want to go to all the Premier League, teams that have come down. So Ipswich as well, and who's the other one? Ipswich, Southampton, Leicester, and Leicester. Yeah, so those three teams, and then Birmingham. I go back to Birmingham. Birmingham's only it's on the same line for me. So all I've got to do is it's a direct journey. So yeah, Birmingham again, and then Wrexham. I wouldn't mind going back to Wrexham, and then who's the third one? Charlton away is a good away day. So let's have a look at the League One playoff teams competing. I think it's Wycombe, Charlton, Stockport. I wouldn't mind going to any of those three. Well, I say any of those three. Wycombe is a nightmare to get out of, especially if you park there. League One, right. So Leyton Orient. So it's between, on the final day of the season, it's between Leyton Orient and Reading. Well, hopefully Reading don't make it and Leyton Orient do, because Leyton Orient's only London. So there's two London sides there, Wycombe and Stockport. So I wouldn't mind any of those to go up. Any. That would be perfect for me. I haven't done Stockport at that's ground, so I wouldn't mind ticking that off. Go to Wrexham. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. There's so many good games next year. Really is. I'm looking forward to it. If we stay up in the Championship, of course. Just got to stay up. I think Leeds will do better than most promoted teams in the Premier League. I think they will, because the way they move the ball about is just fantastic. It really is. I really do like the way they move the ball. And also, who's the other team? That's Burnley. I don't know what Burnley are going to do. It all depends on recruitment, what these Premier League clubs do in terms of recruitment. Because West Ham, they don't look good right now. Wolves as well, I think they've gotten quite lucky over the years. I don't know if it's Wolves' time next year. And then I don't know who's going to be the other club that gets promoted out of the Championship between Sheffield United. And then you've got Sunderland. It's going to be interesting. But those clubs actually have money. So it's going to be really weird to see what happens next year. If we spent the entire season playing like we have been for the last few weeks, where do you reckon we would have finished? At least top 10. Where I predicted us to finish at the start of the season. I said at the start of the year, we've finished top 10. And yeah, look what's happened. And I remember when I predicted us to finish top 10, everyone came at me in the comments and was like, Lewis, you're not being ambitious enough. And I just felt top 10 was at least an expectation. To anything less than a top 10 finish, I thought was not quite a good year. I thought would be a poor year. And then anything, bottom half, very poor year, like we have done. So yeah, that was my prediction. And if we do stay up, people might moan about my prediction for next year, because my prediction for next year would be to improve on this year. That's all I care about. So if we end up finishing, let me have a quick look. If we say, for example, we finish 20th, for example, I want to be mid-table next year. I want to be nowhere near the bottom three. That's what I want. I want proper improvement. I want next year to be Matt Bloomfield's time to properly install his style of play. I'm not expecting to be competing for promotion. I'm not expecting that at all. There's loads of clubs that are going to be competing for promotion, clubs with more money than us. We go about our business our own way, go under the radar, and build that team spirit again. And I do think Matt Bloomfield will build a team. I've seen what he's done, and I'm happy with it. And I do think when he's got his players he wants through the door, we are going to achieve something special. That's for sure. I like Sunderland to go back up. Tyne Derby would be nice to see. Yeah, that would be, to be fair. But I don't like the way Sunderland fans acted, if I'm being honest with you. I really don't. to be fair, if I'm doing this in a selfish way, so if I look at it from an away day perspective, so Sheffield United are third. Sheffield's quite easy to get. It's not too bad of a journey to get to, especially if it's put on a 3 o'clock like normal. Sunderland is horrible, regardless if it's normal kickoff or not. Bristol City, I've not done yet. That's the team which I want to do. And then Coventry, although it's not too far away, it's just a nightmare to get out of. And there's nothing around the stadium. Millwall, and also their away tickets are very expensive. Millwall, I enjoyed it as an away day, but God, it took ages to leave Millwall. It took forever to get out of that place. And Blackburn, not a bad away day, it's just a bit of a far trip. So they're the 3 teams. Go on then, I let Sunderland go up. Go on then. Go on Sunderland, do the job finally. But yeah, right guys, I'm going to end the live stream here. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this past hour of me answering your questions. Fingers crossed, Luton, we can stay up next week. I'm uploading a video later today, 5 things which we learned from the game against Coventry. Should be fun. There is one slight negative which I will mention in it, but I can only be honest about the game. But most of it is positive, so thank you for watching the last hour of me talking. Hopefully I haven't bored you too much. But yeah, 5 things which we learned is coming out tomorrow. And yeah, stay tuned for the videos that are coming out next week. I'm going to try my best to get as many out as possible. I don't want to wait until Friday until the match preview comes out. But yeah, hopefully you are all happy. You're buzzing after the win yesterday against Coventry. And yeah, fingers crossed we do the job next week. I will be live streaming on Sunday, the day after the season has concluded. So every Sunday I try my best to live stream as much as possible. Unless I'm on holiday, I will try my best to live stream every Sunday at 11 o'clock. We'll try and make this a more routine thing. In the summer, I might do some more live streams to make sure, so there's plenty of content throughout the whole, summer. And yeah, everything should be all good. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.